City of mine.
What's up guys, it's BT here, and this is the top 5 gaming mice for the Q2. Man, this year is flying by, isn't it? So if you're new here, what we do is we run down the top 5 gaming mice 4 times a year just to see where each mice stands at, because there's always new mice being released. And because you know what, who doesn't love a good top 5 video? And last time I messed up. You know, I left a mouse off the list that should have been there after trying it again. So today we're gonna right that wrong as well. So starting off with number 5, we have a new entry, which is the Razer Orochi V2, the king of eggs. So this is one small, comfortable mouse, I have to say. So what makes this shape so good is that they made an egg shape with a twist. So on the left side where your thumb goes, there's going to be a little groove for comfort, and then on the right side there's a place for you to rest your ring finger and your pinky finger. And this is something that we hadn't really seen on mice like the G305, which was just a straight up symmetrical shape. And they also made the hump a little bit bigger, making it viable for all grip styles. Because it's so short, makes it work for fingertip grip. There's enough butt in the back, there's that diamond shape for a claw grip, and then there's also enough of a hump so you can palm grip it as well. It's a very well balanced mouse as long as you put that AAA battery into a little converter. Feels great. The battery life is insane at 425 hours. The buttons really surprised me on this mouse. Top tier. They're the 2nd generation mechanical switches from Razer. They've got the PTFE feed on there. They've got the 5G sensor on there. There's a lot to love about the Orochi V2. And did I mention you can also swap the shells for more customization? This is a very versatile mouse, and I can see more pros switching over to this. I've seen Hiko use this mouse a lot recently, and he's one of the top aimers in Valorant right now. All right, so this is where I messed up last time. I'm sorry guys, my fault. Hey yo, my fault. You know, takes a big man to admit when he's wrong. And this is the in-game XM1R coming in at number 4. And you know, my thinking behind it before was there was no real innovation. You know, it was just kind of like revamping the same mouse over and over again. But I really spent some time with the XM1R recently, and I gotta say, these changes, even though they are pretty small, they do make a big impact when you're using this mouse. This is the king of claw grip mice because of that diamond shape in the back. It contours to the natural curvatures of your hand perfectly. It is a little bit bigger, and that's one of my main gripes with the XM1R, is that for most people it doesn't work because it's just so long. And that's kind of where my criticism of in-game comes. It's like, just make a smaller one. Why haven't we seen, after all this time, you know, people want it, just make an XM1R S version of this mouse. That FlexCore 2.0 is miles better than what they had on the first edition of the XM1. And also those KLGM 8.0 switches feel spectacular, way better than the first version of the XM1 again. The sensor performs perfectly with that 3370 sensor. Again, I think if they make a smaller version or they made this wireless, we could see this mouse break the top 3. All right, so before we go on with the rest of the list, I have a word from our sponsor, Luster. Okay, so you know when you're shopping on Amazon, there's a million options to choose from, and every product basically has 4.5 stars. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel overwhelmed sometimes, and I wonder if the reviews are even real. So I end up going to 50 different sites trying to figure out what's the best, and at the end of it all, I'm still left confused as ever. Well, Luster can help. It's a free browser extension that analyzes trusted expert reviews from the likes of Wirecutter, YouTube videos, and even Reddit discussions, and it gives you an instant second opinion right on Amazon, so you don't even have to leave the page. Luster can even recommend you products based on your budget. It does real-time price comparisons across Amazon, Walmart, Best Buy, Target, and more, so you can always sleep easy knowing you got the lowest price possible, and will even let you know when the products are going on sale. It's like the old saying goes, time is money, but with Luster, you save both. All right, so coming in at number 3, we have another new entry, which is the ZIRAIL from Extra 5. Now, I just did the review on this. Go check that out if you haven't already, but this thing turned me into a headshot machine because of that precision that you get with this fingertip grip mouse. Now, it's not gonna work for all grip styles because of its shape. The hump in the back isn't that comfortable for claw, but like I said, for the people this mouse does work for, or if you want to dabble with fingertip grip, this mouse is really close to perfection in my eyes, outside of just not being wireless at this point. The easy cord is fluid. It's got the Kale GM 8.0 switches, which are the crispiest on the market, and some mice do it better than others depending on the shell. These are crispy, okay? These hit differently than in other mice. It's got the top of the line 3389 sensor. It's got the deep ridges on the mouse 1 and 2s, giving you ultimate control to pivot for your fingertip grip. It's got the ledges on the side to pick up the mouse with comfort. It's just a great all-around mouse, and it's plug and play. Everything is on board using a little switch. You can change everything from the RGB to the lift-off distance. Truly insane mouse. Now this is a smaller mouse and it's fingertip grip, so it's a little bit niche, but I just cannot deny just how good this mouse is and how it performs. It definitely deserves to be top 3, especially coming from the king of mice reviews. It's just something about this mouse. It was just done so well. It feels so great in the hand. I gotta give it up to the Xtrfy team. They definitely deserve to break the top 3 this time around. So breaking the top 2, I've realized has been really hard for most companies, just because these next 2 companies just have a stronghold on the technology and like pushing the mouse game forward. And you know, it's really hard. Like, I get it, like they're wireless, they have really good shapes, they got the buttons. I'm hoping this year that we see more competition. I know the final mouse came out, I'm still waiting to get my copy, but you know, outside of that, what companies are doing what these next 2 companies are doing. And the number 2 mouse is the Logitech G Pro X Superlight. This is the GOAT of safe shapes. It works for all grip styles, which is why it's up here at number 2. It's very well balanced. When I use other mice, I can immediately tell where the weight is. There's a reason why pros are using this shape, because it just feels so good in the hand. Works with all grip styles. It's a medium-sized mouse, so it works with larger and smaller hands, as well as medium, of course. Now the buttons are good, but they're not the best. You know, they're not the Kale GM 8.0 switches, but you know, they do a good enough job. The side buttons are nice, light, and crispy. You know, I prefer the GM 8.0s, but you know, you can't have everything. And you know, you can also mod this to put in those switches. I might try to do something like that in the future. So let me know if you guys would want to actually see a video on me switching out some of the switches on a mouse. So we can complain about Logitech all we want. They didn't try. You know, this is just a rehash. They just remove stuff. You know, which is all true, but at the end of the day, in actual usage of this mouse, it's a star. It's a top, you know, it doesn't have USB-C. You know, the list goes on and on of what they didn't do. But when you use this mouse in game, it's a different story. All that bitching, all that complaining just goes right out the door, and you have the number 2 mouse. So coming in number 1, as you guys can all, you know, since I'm sponsored by Razer, you know, since people know my finances so much, I don't know how they know that, but I'm not. But the Razer Viper family, you know, it's been out for a very long time, and we take it for granted, you know, because it came out, it was revolutionary. And you know, there's been 20, 30, 40 mice that have come out since the mouse came out. I think a lot of it is like that saying, familiarity breeds contempt. You know, it's been around so long, we're so familiar with it that we kind of forget just how great they are. You know, we kind of hate on them now and say, oh, it's not that great, but in actuality, when we did get these mice, they were groundbreaking, and we just cannot forget about that. Now, I think that they are messing up by not releasing like the Razer Viper Mini Ultimate, you know, a mouse that everybody's asking for. I feel like they're trying to build up the suspense and the hype behind it. But one cannot deny that these shapes are safe. They have optical switches, which eliminated debouncing, which was a huge issue before. They're wireless with amazing battery life. They go on sale all the time for around $99, whereas like a G Pro wireless is $150. It comes in an 8K polling rate. They also have the Razer Viper Mini, which is a smaller shape, which is my favorite. It works for small and medium hands if you're a claw grip user, and they're just very comfortable mice to use. They've got the PTFE feet, they've got the cords, they've got the top of the line sensors. These mice were just done so well that it's kind of was like, where do we go from here? These aren't perfect mice though. What I want to see from them is a better coating, one that works for more people. I want to see different side grips, something that's more grippy, kind of like a G703 would be nice. I want to see that Razer Viper Mini Ultimate. I want to see different shapes. I don't want to see Razer get content with where they're at. I want to see them keep pushing the boundaries of the mouse game and really take that number 1 spot. You know, just don't get there and then lose it, because they've done so much to kind of reconcile or fix their reputation from before. I don't want them to, you know, fall behind again and just get content. So the Razer Viper family, #1 mice, pick one. They're all great. The pricing is great on them. All right, guys, that is going to do it for the top 5 gaming mice of the Q2. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. It has been your boy BT saying peace. I'll see you in Q3.